It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 21st day of July 2020. Coming to you from Forest in Central Virginia near Lynchburg. This is day 21 of 90 degrees or better in a row. The record we tie tomorrow. Once before, it went 22 days of 90 degrees or higher. And by the way, it's a weather forecast the next 10 days. We're supposed to stay in the same situation. So we're going to not only beat the record, we're just absolutely going to destroy the record. So it was 100 yesterday. First time it's been 100 here in, I don't know, 10 years or something. Quite a while. So it was a little toasty. And for those of you that follow such things, about 10 minutes after I get off the air at the end of this program, I will be in the pool. No doubt about it. That's where I spend my afternoons now, out there in the water. So only way to go. Okay, got a whole bunch of stuff to cover this morning. Good morning to everybody. Let's see over here. Tom Henry, I answered your question about Discovery Princess. As best I know, it's the spring of 22. Hey, Gretchen's with us. Amy's with us. Amy's here early. Wow. Wonders never cease, Amy. So anyway, welcome to you guys. I'll get back to the chat comments before we get started today. But we're going to talk a little bit about Royal Caribbean. The debut of what is expected to be the largest cruise ship ever built has been delayed. Not surprising with what all's going on in the world. Citing the impact of COVID-19, Royal Caribbean said its newest Oasis Class ship, Wonder of the Seas, would no longer begin operations in China in 2021. However, they did not give a new timetable for the rollout of the vessel. The construction of Wonder of the Seas was delayed due to the pandemic impact on the shipyard operation, the line said in a statement that was posted in Chinese on a Chinese website. And of course, I had to translate that so I could find out what it said. So I used my little Chinese dictionary and translated all those funky little character thingies. And it said, no Wonder of the Seas. That's if you believe that, I got some land in Florida I'd love to sell you. Wonder of the Seas has been under construction at the Chantiers de Atlantique shipyard in Saint Nazaire, France, since April of 2019. The shipyard has experienced work delays due to many quarantines. Royal Caribbean's announcement comes just 2 weeks after they said that the November debut of Odyssey of the Sea was postponed by 6 months. The Odyssey of the Sea is now scheduled to arrive in April of 2021. So that's the latest from Royal Caribbean on the construction of two big ships. Then Carnival popped in about the same time to talk a little bit about the update on Mardi Gras. Some of you may have already seen this, as it seemed like it's the same information that keeps coming out over and over again on the Mardi Gras, but it's currently under construction at Meyer Werft in Finland, getting the final touches before it's to debut in 2021. The Mardi Gras is scheduled now to enter service February 6th, 2021 from Port Canaveral's new Terminal 3, which has been specifically constructed to accommodate Mardi Gras and its LNG propulsion system. So that's the Mardi Gras. So those are three big ships that we're going to see eventually, just not when they had wanted to get them out. All right, a couple little weather things to discuss before we go on this morning, there's actually several potential storms. The one closest to us is still a disturbance. It's currently over Cuba. It's a tropical wave that's producing large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over western Cuba, the northwestern Bahamas, southern Florida, and the adjacent Atlantic and Caribbean waters, pretty well spread out at this point. Gradual development of this system is possible while it moves west-northwest during the next few days. The system is expected to move over the southeastern Gulf of Mexico later today, the central Gulf tomorrow, and the northwestern Gulf on Thursday and Friday. They are going to send out one of the Air Force Hunter plane jobbies to go fly in the middle of that and see what if there's any real chance of development since it is close to the States. But anyway, that's scheduled to be later on today. Currently, they're saying formation chance the next 48 hours is low, about 30%. The formation chance through the next 5 days is medium, about 40%. Now, the one that's actually is a lot more potential is out there in the middle of the Atlantic still, about halfway from Africa over to South America. You see the little kind of orangey X there. Showers and thunderstorms have become better organized in association with this low-pressure system located about midway between the west coast of Africa and the Lesser Antilles. Environmental conditions are expected to be somewhat conducive for development, and they're talking about formation chance in the next 48 hours at 60%, and again for the next 5 days at 60%. So there is a lot more chance of development there. Now, meantime, out in the Pacific, I didn't put a Pacific map up. There is one actual named tropical storm, Douglas, which is currently has maximum sustained winds of 55 knots. That's about 65 miles an hour. The central pressure is 998 millibars. It's moving west-southwest at about 13 knots. So it's just moving out toward the middle of the Pacific, going nowhere and nothing in its wake. But it is a tropical storm. It's been named Tropical Storm Douglas. Now, remember, the Pacific guys, their names are all different from our guys in the Atlantic. So the namings, the Pacific has their set of names, Atlantic has their set of names. I don't understand all that business. But anyway, that's what's going on out there. Now, the next thing, we got a couple, just a little odd stories here and there of travel stuff. One, where'd it go? There it is. Key West. Key West officials have basically gone through and cleared the entire social calendar through October, basically erasing everything that was scheduled. And that's a lot of stuff scheduled. This, of course, was prior to COVID. This was last year's Fantasy Fest, I think it was, at Dante's Pool down there in Key West. And that's the kind of crowds they get for a lot of stuff down there. All that stuff's been erased this year. They're still hoping possibly to do a Christmas parade, but that is still up in the air. But basically, Key West is shut down for the remainder of the season. So, again, with all that's going on in Florida, not surprising. And hopefully a lot of that stuff, they can get things turned around and going in the right direction. We'll see. So, Jamaica. Our friends down in Jamaica have basically introduced some new travel restrictions. There are newly revised measures which apply to international travelers. The current set of regulations remains into effect until July the 31st, and it will be reassessed and adjusted, made by needs of the Jamaican government in alignment with ongoing evolution of the global pandemic situation. Needless to say, that's not my writing. That's a direct quote from the Jamaican folk. But there's nothing really surprising there. It's like everybody else with the testing. You have to have a certificate when you get there saying that you're negative. They have all kinds of rules and regulations on being tested. Nothing unusual from this. It's a long, wordy thing, and I'm not even going to bother with it, other than saying that they do have a number of regulations, and they're one of the places that has not absolutely cut off all American travel. However, areas in the United States currently designated as high risk, and that would be currently Arizona, Florida, New York, and Texas. Those folks are banned. So the sad part of all this, folks, currently, as of this morning, 33 countries will not allow Americans to travel there. 33 countries. And they're all, mostly the major ones. So until we get this crap straightened out in this country, and as I've been preaching all along, you guys have to exercise social distancing. You have to wear your mask. I'm a believer that everybody needs, if everybody for the next 30 days would wear their mask every time they're out, just flat ass do it. They're saying not only would it save like 40,000 lives, that would give us a chance to flatten all the curves and get us heading in the right direction again. Man, 1 month, bite the bullet, do what's right, people. Anyway. All right. I suppose this is something that we might as well get used to seeing. One of the, globally, the first cruise line that's about to resume operations, we've talked about them a little bit before, is Chantiers over there in Asia. They'll be the first international company to restart operations with the deployment of Dream Cruises Explorer Dream to Taiwan, where she will begin Taiwan island hopping itineraries on the 26th of July. Upon the cruise ship's arrival in Keelung on the 30th of June, the Explorer Dream underwent a thorough deep cleaning in accordance with EU standards, in addition to her crew immediately beginning their mandatory 14-day quarantine on land. Upon completion of the quarantine on land, the crew of Explorer Dream, and they've all tested negative based on nucleic acid tests that are paid for by the cruise line. The crew is now returned on board, where they will undergo, and this is the interesting part, an additional 7-day self-health monitoring period to complete their comprehensive preventive period of 21 days of isolation in total prior to the inaugural sailing of the island hopping itinerary on July 26th. Prior to the sailing, the Explorer Dream will participate in an outbreak simulation drill under the guidance of the Taiwan Centers for Disease Control. So they're actually going to put these folks through a COVID outbreak drill. So in case something happens like happened earlier in this year that caused all the hoo-ha in the travel industry, they will have some experience on what to do and how to handle it. Now, I have a feeling, folks, that's something that we're probably going to see a lot more of as we go along and get closer back to normalcy in the cruise and travel world. Not that that's going to happen anytime soon, but it's going to happen sometime. So, all right. On the opposite side of things, Meyer Werft shipyard, which is an important shipbuilder for the cruise industry, is temporarily shut down due to the impact on cruise lines and the global health crisis. The shipyard is struggling and will need to shut down for 6 weeks to help ride out these difficult times. The yard needs to save 1.2 billion euros over the next 5 years. The shutdown is set to begin. Was set to begin yesterday, and would probably have an extended summer break for workers. So the pause will be until August 30. New ship deliveries are already delayed, so there is not to be quite an overall impact. But Meyer Werft is now shut down, temporarily, but shut down. So if some of you missed out on it yesterday, I put up 2 videos yesterday that are probably worth watching if you have not seen them yet. One is on the cruise and maritime industry going under. Unfortunately, that happened. And the other, that happened kind of late in the day yesterday, as far as the news broke. Cruise and maritime voyages declared bankruptcy. Of course, over in Europe, they call it something different, but basically it's bankruptcy. And the other one I did earlier in the day yesterday was America's Not Wanted in the Bahamas, which of course is more important to all of us because the Bahamas travel is something that we have to have from this country because of stupid laws that any ship that sail from any port in the country has to go to another country. And so we have to be able to stop in the Bahamas, if anywhere along the East Coast. But anyway, so the Bahamas is now one of the 33 nations that will not allow Americans in. Down in the description of the video, you'll find links to both of those videos if you'd like to see them. I'm not going to mention them any further here because I did videos on them yesterday. So they're both out there for you to take a look at. After a 3-month hiatus, the Virgin Atlantic Airlines will be welcoming customers back on board for the first passenger flight from London Heathrow to Hong Kong. And that actually took off, let's see, it's about 2 hours ago. So it's in the air now. So Virgin Atlantic is back in the business. And of course, they got all kinds of health standards and cleaning standards and all that stuff that all the airlines are going through. But they've been basically out of business for 3 months now. So they're back flying, even on a limited schedule basis. All right, let's stop for a second for a word from Scoot Around.
Do you have a bad back, bad hips, bad knees, or any other mobility issues? Think about Scoot Around. For scooters, walkers, wheelchairs, even oxygen needs, delivered right to your cabin. Scoot Around for all your mobility needs on your upcoming cruise.
All right. If you guys missed it on Sunday, the show I co-host from London on Sunday with the Cruise Amigos on Cruises for Solos with Pete and John and myself. We had another fabulous guest this week, Janine Williamson, a gifted writer, world-renowned writer. We've been lucky to have 2 fabulous writers, actually back-to-back, as guests on the show. And Janine was awesome as expected. If you did not see the show, take an hour, go look it up in YouTube or on Facebook and watch it. You'll enjoy it. We had fun, a lot of information. I learned some stuff that I had no idea about. It was a great show. So, and then a couple days before that, I asked our friend Jason Garland up there in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, what his favorite cruise ship was.
Well, that's a tough question. I only do Carnival. I mean, not that I don't want to do other ships and other cruise lines, but I'm going to go with the Carnival Fascination. It's an older ship. I was going to say the Carnival Valor only because it was my first cruise, and the memories from that got me hooked on cruising, and it was just the experience of that first cruise that got me hooked. So, but the Fascination cruise I went on in the Southern Caribbean out of Puerto Rico was the best time I've ever had. I've never had so many stops. I've going ashore 5-6 times in a 7-day cruise is crazy, and I love the feeling of getting up every day and getting off. It was great.
Yeah. Thanks, Jason. And then my friend Allison Moore is over there in Glasgow, Scotland. So, I mean, you think Pete talks funny? My Scottish ladies that I've become friends with, they all talk real funny. I mean, my sisters all the time asking me if I can understand the Scottish ladies, and which I can. But anyway, I asked Allison Moore, that's Allison there in the middle. I asked her about her favorite port of call, and her answer was right up my alley. It was Tortola. That's, of course, in the British Virgin Islands. Tortola is also one of my favorite spots in the world. As a matter of fact, my favorite bar in all of the Caribbean, despite all of the ones, I've been to bars everywhere, but Tortola has one of my favorite bars also. So, Allison, that was right up my alley with the Tortola, and she looking forward to the day when she can go to sail to Kotar and Montenegro. She's been to Kotar before, but she hasn't sailed there. So that's Allison Moore over there in Glasgow, Scotland. So, all right, let's go see what's up in the chat room. Oh my goodness, there's a ton of chat today. Well, that's not unusual. There's a ton of chat every day anymore. Let's see where I got to before I started. Everybody's saying hello. Tom Henry says, I figure my February RCCL cruise on Mariner will be canceled. Guess I am meant to stick with NCL. I'm not 100% sure on that one yet, Tom. I'm still thinking next year, if we can get a handle on things in this country. I mean, and that's still debatable. But some of the experts are saying if we do things right, and start this thing heading in the right direction, that we could get going and a lot quicker than people are thinking. We'll have to see, Tom. I want to hope that the February cruise still has a possibility. Emily's with us up in New York. Emily, good morning. And by the way, Emily sent me some information last night. Sorry I didn't get back to you. I was in bed. I know, I go to bed early and I get up in the middle of the night. I was up at 3:30 this morning working on the computer. That's one of the drawbacks to dealing a lot with European folks is they're 6 hours ahead of us in a lot of places. So my hours have changed drastically. Tom says his next cruise is November 29th. Is looking very iffy. Better check Chillie's tea leaves. Tom, yeah, that one's iffy. I'll go along with you on that one. Although I'm still rooting for Jason on October the 3rd and you on November 29th. A couple other people that are scheduled for fall cruises. I'm hoping you are, but boy, I'm worried about those. Tom likes those Emily hats, he says. Amy says, I hope we have a sparse hurricane season this year. There won't be any cruise ship to help bring supplies or aid to the islands if there's a really bad one. And that's the case. My buddy can't even fly supplies in there now. And he's been flying supplies in forever. We had Kyle Falwell. We had him on Chillie Chats here a couple months ago. He can't, that's now barred. I mean, he can't even fly over there. So that's the way it's going to be for a while until we get a handle on things, folks. It's not going to change. Let's see what else we got here. Oliver Wendell Douglas. Is that Oliver? Tom's talking about me being on soapbox again. He's the chief farmer at Chillie's Ranch. Yep, absolutely. Emily was talking about Bubba's Facebook school, of which I'm a counselor, and I think, what's Emily, a principal or something? I don't remember. But anyway, we haven't seen Bonnie for a while. I know she's not been feeling good, and she's been having some trouble sleeping, but he loves Beverly Hillbillies too. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's Pete. Hey, Pete, how you doing? Pete from London's with us. Good afternoon. So sad the UK cruise line, Cruise and Maritime have gone bust. And hello to everybody. Yeah, that's the sad thing. That's two now. We've lost Pullman Tour and now them. That's two functioning companies that have gone under as a direct result of COVID. Gretchen says, the pubs are back to serving pints and glass again, Pete, aren't they? And good afternoon. Yeah, as a matter of fact, Janine, that was on Saturday night, she got to go out to a pub and lift one on her own 2 cents there. So that we were glad to hear that. I just hope that the folks over there don't do as bad as we've done in this country when we open stuff. I will say that I'm keeping close tabs on Pete. If he does anything stupid, I'll jump all over him to keep him out of getting in trouble. So anyway, so we got to get things cleaned up. So there's no question about me going to Europe in a fall a year from now. In 22, I'm going to Europe and joining Pete and causing trouble. So it's going to be several weeks of trouble, merriment caused by me and Pete. So, fooled me, Chillie. That looks like NCL Spirit. The Genting picture. Honest, when I downloaded it, it said that was the Genting, whatever the hell the name of it is. I don't even remember now. I mean, it's possible that I could have downloaded the wrong picture. It is the Spirit. Is Gretchen popped in and said it is too. You guys are talking about. Let me go back and get it. You're talking about where is it? Genting. Yeah, that one. It says right there on the sides. Can I blow that up? No, it doesn't blow up. Explorer Dream. That is Genting Cruises Explorer Dream. That's got to be the one you're talking about. Because the other ones are in construction. So if that's the one you're talking about, folks, that's the Genting. That's Genting. Honest to goodness, that's one of the world dream things. Okay, back over here. Where am I? Genting used to be a part of NCL. Oh, okay. So that was an NCL before. Let's see. Oh, John Reitmeyer's here. Morning, y'all, from up in Minnesota. Hey, John, glad you're with us. That's the third of the Cruise Amigos. So all three of us are in-house here this morning. And Tom says the three amigos are present. Yes, we are. Amazing. I had all kinds of information yesterday. John says, I paid for my NCL transatlantic for November, but I'm expecting it to be canceled. So I'll get 125% for next year. The Epic in 21 is going to Rome to New York. I'm holding a solo cabin. Awesome. That's a good move, Mr. John Reitmeyer up there in Minnesota. And Tom says, I'm doing the April Epic transatlantic San Juan to, that one goes San Juan to Barcelona, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, to Barcelona. Tom finished that up the next line down. All right, let's see what else we got here. June Escape in Pete's backyard in Copenhagen. Oh, you're going over there too in June. Nice. Pete says he looked at the Rome, New York cruise after the Encore cold weather crossing and the itinerary. Yeah, Pete's like me. He doesn't want cold weather crossings anymore. Yeah. Got to get over it, I suppose. Jason's a party animal. Yes, Tom, Jason is a party animal. Not much as you think, but he's younger than we are, so he still does some partying. Pete says, who's joining us for our cocktail party tomorrow at 4:00? Chillie posts the link. Yeah, we do our little cocktail party 4:00 on Wednesdays. That matter of fact, the Scottish ladies are always there for the cocktail party. So we'll have several of the Scottish ladies in the house. So by all means, if you guys are available, fix a cocktail or a glass of wine or a beer or whatever and come join us. We normally just hang out for an hour or so and talk about who knows what, anything that comes up. There's Jason. Hey, Jason's here from Pittsburgh. So, yeah, and there's Bonnie. Hi, y'all. Got any good news? Yeah, Bonnie with you. It's got all kinds of good news, Bonnie. I just didn't report any. It's all bad news. No, it's not all bad news. I'm just teasing. We were talking about you, Bonnie. I was getting a little worried about you. Hadn't seen you for a while. So Bonnie's saying hi to everybody. 4 p.m. Eastern Standard. That's Eastern Daylight Time. 9 p.m. UK time. That's for the cocktail party. Jason says, I told Bruce to start a cooking channel when he runs out of content. Maybe cooking with Chillie would work. Yeah, right. Although I cooked on the grill the other day. It's in that 90-degree stuff. It wasn't anything fancy, folks. I just threw a couple burgers on the grill and got by with it. So that's what I did. Bonnie, thank you very much, Bonnie. We got a super chat from Bonnie. I do appreciate that. Anytime you guys, sometimes I don't really talk about that very much. When you guys do a super chat, that of course helps support the channel, and it's always nice to get those, and I do appreciate it. And if I have not made reference to it, folks, that's an oversight on my part. But as always, I really appreciate those. That's clearly helps a little struggling guy like me. Emily and what's this now, Bonnie? Emily and Jason want Chillie to know that I'm still alive. Oh yeah, well that's good. We're glad to know that you're still kicking, because we'd hate for Bubba and Princess to be starving to death down there because you kicked the bucket on us. I'm teasing, of course. So, and Gretchen, we got another super chat. Thank you very much, Gretchen. I do appreciate that. That's lovely. You guys are wonderful today. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. So, All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today, I think. Do I have anything else that I need to cover today? Let me go back here and check on the brand stuff. No, we talked about Allison. We talked about that. We did all those. There's one other thing, folks. Oh, I still got to get rid of that. Okay. Tonight then you're not going to hear this anyplace else. Tonight at, what time would that be? That would be 8:20. Yeah. At 20 seconds after 8:20 this evening. The official time and date will be 2020, 2020, 2020, 2020. And that's never happened before, and it's never going to happen again. And that's how I'm ending the show today. You guys have a great day. Stay safe. Wear your mask. Stay at home if you can. If not, be safe out there in the world, folks. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a great day. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for the super chats, y'all. Stay out of trouble.
Thank you for watching today's Travel and Cruise Industry News. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.